Hi guys, it's Hans. Today I'd love to talk about one of my favorite cars, the 1982 Porsche 911 3.3 liter 930 Turbo. I know that's a mouthful, but bear with me. The 930 Turbo was developed between 1975 and 1989. An awesome car that not only was the fastest production car at the time, but also was nicknamed the Widowmaker. It got the name from its turbo lag. Early models had a single turbo, but later models were fitted with two smaller turbos to reduce that lag. In 1975, due to increased power from the turbo, Porsche techs believed the 5-speed gearboxes that were in production at the time would have trouble handling the extra power. You'd think they would have learned from World War II in their tanks. So they all started over-engineering the German way. They produced a 4-speed gearbox that would be used until the very last year of 930 production. In 1989, a 5-speed gearbox was fitted. I personally enjoy the 4-speed gearboxes. I will elaborate on that later. Under Porsche's Sonderwunschprogramm, you could purchase a slant nose, or Flachbau in German, turbo. These got rid of the rounded headlights and had a completely sloped front with pop-up headlights. One of the 930's iconic parts is the rear wing, named the whale tail because it looks like a whale tail. Underneath the tail sat the turbo intercooler, which the early turbos did actually not possess. As we saw from the engine, this car has air conditioning and a Blaupunkt radio. The gauges on 911s have always been my favorite, with the big tachometer right in the front. The turbos have a boost gauge within the tachometer. On the left, we have the fuel gauge and the oil quantity gauge. Yes, this car has a separate oil tank. There is no sump. Oil is pumped from the tank to the engine. As we move further to the right, we see oil temperature and oil pressure. To the right of the tank, we have the speedometer that goes up to 160 miles per hour. And then at the very end, the clock. This 930 Turbo is fitted with fog lights and Fuchs wheels. So how does it drive in game? This 3.3 liter is an air-cooled flat 6. Stock, it would have had about 261 horsepower. But I'm running some upgrades on this car, including tires, I lowered it about an inch, and a more powerful turbo to make it more exciting. The car's a lot of fun to throw around the corners. It takes them nicely. You just need to be easy on the throttle. When that turbo kicks in, it likes to kick the rear end out. Although the 4-speed is a little cumbersome, I did say I enjoy the 4-speed more than the 5-speed. In real life, those transmissions are indestructible. The 4-speeds. They were over-engineered and they last a long time, and to me have a certain kind of charm to them. The G50 platform was replaced by the next generation of 964s, and that was the end of the 930 Turbo. But its legacy still lives on, like its name, the Widowmaker. But where did the Widowmaker name come from? Well, Widowmaker name for the turbos was given to it due to a large number of fatal accidents by West German Luftwaffe F-104G pilots. The F-104G nickname was also the Widowmaker, due to its small wings and tricky flying characteristics. It is fitting that the fastest car in the world at that time would be bought up and driven by pilots of one of the fastest interceptors flown by the German Luftwaffe. As the driver added more throttle, the turbo would spool and give the car a lot of power. This would cause the back end of the car to come around. Being that 911s are rear-engine cars, this is more prevalent with 911s. Inexperienced drivers would lose control and often suffer a fatal accident. There's a lot more to this car and a lot more stuff I want to share with people out there. Thank you for listening.